I didn't do the video of the first part of the teaser for Superman when it came out, just because I couldn't really hold off until I was able to sit down and do a video. I love DC. I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan, so knowing that we're getting just anything new DC, I'm always happy about. I am on the fence a little bit with Superman, and I'm hoping this trailer kind of gives me the same sort of feeling that the teaser did that came out a couple of months ago. I do hear a lot on Twitter and Instagram and all types of social media. Everybody's bashing on it. Nobody has high hopes for it because there's a lot of James Gunn haters. And I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of them. I too do not necessarily. I have a love-hate relationship with James Gunn. I personally think that when he did the Suicide Squad, his sort of sequel, but then again, it was sort of a pseudo kind of reimagining in a way from what I remember reading somewhere, that whole first sequence when he introduces like 15 characters just to kill them off, that was all a joke. And it was him kind of saying, hey, that first one sort of sucked and, here's a big fuck you. But again, that might have been rumors. It might have not been 100% true, but that was what I was hearing, or at least reading, and I can't remember where it was because this is a few years ago. And I'm not going to say I dislike his movies. I'm a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But then again, he doesn't always, knock it out of the park. Like, I really didn't think his Suicide Squad was better in any capacity. I thought it was just as kind of campy and chunky and kind of falling short from what it could have possibly been, just like the original Suicide Squad was. I actually did a whole Suicide Squad video about how I really want the Ayer cut to come out. And yes, if you're watching this, you might also be one. I'm a Zack Snyder fan. I loved his vision. I think he had flaws in what he was doing, but he also wasn't given the free range to do what he wants. And then a lot of people got on him because they're like, oh, Netflix gave him the free range, and then you got Rebel Moon. Yeah. The Rebel Moon movies are great. I don't know who's like bashing on anything that was really negative about those. I thought those movies were fantastic, but that's because I looked at them as just visionary pieces of Zack Snyder's work. So when I look at it that way, I have this sort of acceptance of it, and it might just be bias on my part because I am a Zack Snyder fan, and I've loved I wouldn't say all of his movies. I do know that Batman vs Superman has its flaws. I do think Man of Steel is a top-notch Superman film, and yes, I will be holding it up against this film when this film finally releases. And now we're going to watch the trailer for Superman. And I'm going to get off of the Zack Snyder hit because I actually didn't mind the idea of doing a separate Zack Snyder video, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. I caught myself going on a tangent. Let's bring it back and let's talk about what we're about to watch now. So this released 11 hours ago. I am watching it from the first time. You will probably not get to see this video until I release it. Wednesday? So I probably won't get to release this until Friday or Saturday. I do apologize that it is late, but I also had some other videos already planned, so I didn't really want to push those because they're also videos and trailers for other things that I wanted to talk about.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might.
A lot of fire.
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will
anybody
cause more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
That music.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
You have a dog?
I'm a 90s baby. You know what I mean? I grew up with certain actors who portrayed certain things. You know, they had the people who loved the Adam West Batman. You had the people who loved the original Reeves Batman from the 50s, George Reeves. I am a Christopher Reeves Superman. I am a Michael Keaton Batman kid. If there's one thing that I missed when it came to the idea of doing another Superman, which I get why Snyder didn't use it, and I get why nobody really 100% wants to use it, it'd be like using Michael Keaton's Batman symbol, which is essentially the quintessential Batman symbol. James Gunn using the music, and he did it in the original teaser as well, and I had the same reaction. I don't know if that is... I don't know if it's the tone of it or if it's just the memory of it that's doing it to me, but it feels special. And I know there's a lot of people dogging on this movie, and I don't know what to expect of it. I'm going to give it a chance because I'm a diehard DC fan. And just that music, just hearing that music. Let me play it one more time. Hold on. Just that alone is doing it for me. And I had to control myself for a second because it literally, and I know I'm probably going to get hammered in the comments for this, but I really was about to like have a couple of tears shed. And it has really nothing to do with like, oh no, James Gunn, oh no, Superman. It's just a memory because there was something special about those Christopher Reeves movies. And even though it ended on a kind of sour note with The Quest for Peace, that first one is still just a top-notch Superman film. And I don't know if that's what they're going for when it comes to like trying to bring the nostalgia, because it doesn't look like this is going to be the beginning of Superman's journey. It looks like he's already established. And so if he's already established... that means that certain things have already happened. And they're saying that Lex Luthor is already president. And I know that is a particular storyline in the Superman lore, but it happens very much long ways down the pipeline that is pretty much either within or many years after, say, the form of the Justice League. It's not a precursor to the Justice League. It's not even like the Justice League disbanded and then it happened. If I remember correctly, it's the Justice League had been around for a long time, and the storyline somehow was Lex Luthor was able to run for president, and I want to say he like tried to outlaw the Justice League, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot that I don't remember about a lot of different storylines. When it comes to it, a lot of it gets blurred out from the old Justice League cartoons, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Those blur the lines, and I don't think Lex Luthor was ever president in those shows, which is why I get confused a little bit, because those storylines kind of take more of a precedent in my mind than comic book storylines do. I don't have low expectations for this. I don't necessarily have high expectations for this. I have, and this might be cliche and it might be nerdy, but we're talking about Superman. And if there's one thing I have after watching this trailer, I have hope. I feel like they're gonna do it justice. And this could just be a ploy. It could just be trying to tug on the nostalgia strings. I don't know. But in my heart of hearts, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to be open-minded because I've already been proven on more than one occasion when it comes to comic book anything that I can have hard feelings about something I feel is not going to work, and I get proven wrong. I have it more times than none. I thought Ben Affleck was going to make a terrible Batman. To a lot of people, he still did. I don't think he did. I think he was a tremendous Batman, proven wrong. I thought Heath Ledger was going to be a bad Joker. Tremendous Joker. It's the best Joker in history that was able to surpass that of Jack Nicholson. I stopped second guessing these things because I'm just proven wrong too many times. And of course, I do have moments where I am proven right, but I try to do my best to stay in a realm of open-mindedness that doesn't lean towards, I don't want to say unbiased, because I am biased, because I always think DC is going to be better in some capacity, even though Marvel has already proven that it has like the best stakes in the comic book realm, but they haven't been doing well in the last few years either. So this could be the first step in the right direction, and I have hope that it will be. And I'm going to be looking forward to this when it comes out, and I just am really like hoping that other people do give it a chance, and you don't just get a bunch of the Snyderverse dudes who are just going to bash it because it's not Zack Snyder. I'm with you. I understand we want to see Zack Snyder's vision come to an end. We want to see what he was originally going to do. I'm going to say that till the day it actually happens, or until the day Zack Snyder retires or I die. I would love to see his vision come to fulfillment. But until that happens, or if that never happens, this to me is still going to be worth it, because at least it's something. Because if there's one thing that we don't get, is that we don't get a lot of DC property. There's too much Marvel stuff out there, and Marvel has saturated the market. To have something DC again, just it fills my heart with joy, because I feel more of an attachment to these storylines than anything else. So regardless if it's a good movie or a bad movie, I'm going to have hope, because at least at the end of the day, it's a new DC movie and it's Superman. Maybe he'll do it right. If you made it this far, you are awesome. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and let YouTube know I'm doing a good job. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the other videos in the studio. All of this helps support me and the channel, so it is very appreciated. Whether you're new or returning, thanks for watching. Cheers.
Honest.